the Bersa BP9cc, a budget-priced gun that has some interesting features, and certainly the price is one of them. And why is Riders Range reviewing a $300 gun? Well, a little more than 300, but not much. We got into this because recently MDpolo did a review on this. It was mainly a tabletop review, and he said it'd be interesting to see how this thing would actually shoot at 50 or 100 yards. You know that Riders Range does a lot of shooting at 50 yards, so I figured we'd give it a try. I didn't have one, so I reached out to TheFireArmGuy, who has provided a couple of guns for us to review in the past, and he's just did a recent one on the Bersa with his one handgun, one shotgun, one rifle, and also did a tabletop and a range review on the Bersa not too long ago. This gun is made in Argentina. It's imported by Eagle Arms. It has your, by the way, this gun is unloaded. The reason there's a magazine in it right now is because it has a magazine disconnect, and I can't show you how the trigger or anything else works with the magazine out. So that's one of the, to me, the drawbacks on this particular gun. But it's a 3.3-inch barrel, polymer frame, steel slide, rear cocking serrations, no forward cocking serrations. It does have a interesting texture on the grip that so far has worked fairly well. It's not real aggressive by any means, but in what little bit I've shot it so far, it seems to be working okay. And it has an index point that's textured for on both the right side and the left side for thumb on the left if you're shooting with a high grip like I do, index finger on the right to keep it off the trigger. A single lever that does both the slide stop and the takedown lever. I'm not going to take it down. Other videos have shown how that works. Front sight is a SIG sight, so they're easy to find. Rear sight is a Glock sight, also easy to find. Does have a single slot Picatinny rail on it. This gun is likely to be compared with the Shield, which is around the same price bracket, maybe a little more. This particular one's a Performance Center, and it's not a 2.0. It's an older Shield, but it does have maybe some similar characteristics to it. They're both single stack, polymer frame, striker fired, 9mm guns, and with the extended magazine in the Shield giving you 8+1 capacity, it is about the same dimensions as the Bersa with 8+1. Slight difference in the magazines though. The Bersa is strictly a single stack, whereas the Shield, by the way, you can get the Shield also with a 7-round flush magazine, which makes it a little bit shorter. But the Shield is a slightly staggered magazine, so it's just a little bit thicker than the single stack Bersa. 8 rounds versus 8 rounds, roughly the same height. So same capacity, roughly the same dimensions. I will mention that the magazine on the Bersa is definitely easier to load. The spring is less tense than it is on the Shield. Other comparisons, again, this isn't designed as a comparison video between the Shield and the Bersa, but the Bersa with 8 rounds, 115 grain ammo, plus 1 more for the chamber, weighs in at 25 ounces. The Shield weighs in at 24.6. So again, they're pretty close. You also notice that, and I've made my complaints in the past about the trigger tab, and a number of viewers have taken me to task because that trigger tab, even though I say it's useless, they say it's a safety, and technically it's a drop safety, so that theoretically the inertia of the trigger, if you drop the gun, won't allow the gun to go off. It's still, to me, it's a useless tab. There are lots of other ways to keep a gun from going off when it's dropped, but neither here nor there. So this trigger, though, pivots to get the tab out of the way of the frame, and will then start its movement. And again, this gun is unloaded. So the pivot gets the little hook on the back of the trigger out of the way, then a little bit of grit, and then a fairly good take up, no over travel, and a wonderfully short reset. There it is. That's all there is to it. Although this trigger does have a tendency to pinch my finger, so I may end up shooting it with gloves on. And that's a little different than the Shield in that the bottom part of the trigger, of course, on the Shield acts as the pivot on this one, and then the trigger itself pivots at a slightly higher point than the Bersa does. So similar guns. In size, weight, Shield might cost just a little bit more. These things start at $311. By the way, there's about 11 different models of this Bersa in .380, 9mm, and 40 caliber, and they start at $311 MSRP. Kind of hard to find. I only found 3 of them on Gunbroker, and a couple of those are running around the $400 bracket for these. So we're going to try this. Now, I did put a few shots through this gun off camera before we really got started here, because I wanted to see how it would shoot. And you know that we test everything at 15 yards on a 3-inch circle. So I have targets set up at 15 yards, 2 3-inch circle targets. And the reason I have 2 is because when I first shot this, I was using 115 grain cellular and Balat ammunition, and it was all over the paper at 15 yards. And if you've seen my other videos, you know that I can hold a 3-inch circle at 15 yards offhand without any real difficulty. So I've got 2 targets up there now. I brought out Federal ammunition, 124 grain on the left, 147 on the right. We're going to try that and see if this gun will actually hold a pattern. If it'll hold a pattern, I'll try it at 25 and 50. If this thing won't hold a pattern, there's no sense in me wasting ammo at 50 yards. So first thing I'm going to do is pattern it. Then I'm sure it'll work at 12. We'll see whether or not I'm going to work at 25 or 50 yards after that. So let me set the camera up for the targets and we'll see how they work. All right, there's my first target at 15 yards with the cellular and Balat 115. So you know why we're going to shoot a little something different here. 124 grain Federal, and I've only got 1 magazine, so we're going to have to stop the camera. It'll reload between rounds here. So 8 rounds at 15 yards. Let's see how it works. All right, left target, 124 grain Federal. All right, it does hold open after the last shot, but I'm not at all impressed with that group. I'm going to load a magazine up at 147s. I'll see if that's any better. 8 rounds of Federal 147 in this Bersa BP9cc. Let's see if it'll work any better than the 124 grain did on the left target. So this will be on the right target. All right, so I figured out it likes 147 better than 124 or 115, so I'm going to stick with that for the remainder of the, well, actually I'll shoot the 124s. No, I'm going to shoot the 115s at 12 yards. For everything else, we'll do the 124s. Now, for a trigger that is sub 3 pounds and a really nice trigger, the gun was handling okay. It's just accuracy is something to be desired. Now, my Shield trigger, again, both my Shields, the regular and the Performance Center, are not the 2.0s. My regular Shield's got an apex bar in it, and it's coming out at 3.5 pounds. The Performance Center is coming out at 4.5. So this one at 3 has a nicer trigger. Just doesn't seem to be quite as accurate. So we're going to move the other camera to the plates at 12 yards, and we're going to run some 115s through that. Then we'll go to 25. I'm not sure about 50. 12 yards using a cellular Balat 115 grain, the Bersa BP9cc. Let's see how it works. All right, they're kind of scattered. We're going to move it over to 25. We'll try the Federal 147s at 25 and see how that handles it. 147 grain Federal. We'll see how the Bersa BP9cc works at 25 yards. Start with the black 12-inch on the left. Aim center, hit high left. I don't know if I can get the 8 or not. Let's give it a try. Alright, that one hit straight high. Skip the silhouette. I'm going to go to the white 10-inch between the two silhouettes. And dare I try the center of the orange silhouette? Didn't hit where I want it. Try it again. Right, still working on the center of that orange silhouette. I can get it with almost any other gun, but not this one. There's made shots. Got the head out on the last one when I was aiming at the center. And that's with the 147s. Alright, we're going to put another mag of 147s in it, and okay, I'll try 50 yards. Let's see what will happen. 147 grain Federal out of this Bersa BP9cc. 50 yards. I do have a new plate up there. I got a 16-inch round one. It's the white one with the black center that's sitting kind of high, just to the right of the red silhouette. I'm going to try that one first, and I'm going to try the orange silhouette. I don't think I'm even going to be able to try the 10-inchers, but 8 shots. Let's see what happens at 50 yards. And yes, I'm wearing gloves because this trigger is still pinching. All right, white 16-inch, black. Nope. Try it again. All right, heard it ring, got some movement out of it. Let's try the orange silhouette with a black center. Hit it. All right, let's try the silver 12-inch right under the white 16. All right, so we got 16 and 12. Let's try the white 12 hanging on the right next to the star. Hope I don't hit the star in the meantime. Well, try it again. Not hitting that 12. Go back to the silver 12. Got that one okay. And I'm not even going to try a 10. Silver 12 again. And that's it. Bersa BP9cc. Budget gun. Not the greatest of accuracy for a 9. We've tested others that are doing much better than this little gun. Again, I don't like the magazine disconnect. I don't like the fact that even though it's got a beautiful trigger, I don't like the fact that it's pinching my finger. I do like the fact that it's a single lever for takedown as well as slide stop. I like the grip profile, particularly the place to put my left thumb, my right index finger. The fact that it has an ambidextrous mag release, push it from either side. You don't have to worry about changing this one. It works either way out of the box. Is this an okay defense gun? Yeah, sure. For normal carrying for defense, yeah, just don't try to take out hostage takers at even 25 yards. All in all, yeah, okay. So to answer MDpolo's question, is it a 50-yard gun? Yeah, maybe. I'd like to see the Honest Outlaw do this at 100. Maybe he'd have better luck with me. And maybe it's just this particular gun. I haven't seen Dan shoot long distance with this yet. So, you know, maybe there are other BP9cc's that'll work very well. This one, not happening. That's it on Riders Range. If you like this video, we appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Click on the notifications, helping our channel grow. Commenting also helps the analytics, which gets us a little higher in the rankings. So by all means, comments on this video down below. Comments on anything else at info@ridersrange.com. Our website's www.ridersrange.com. You can send us comments on anything you'd like to see, comments on video product, anything at all that you think might help us make a better channel out of Riders Range. By all means, just let us know on our website. Pardon me for the lighting. I noticed that the camera lights have gone off, so I'm in the dark here, but I'm also a government official. I guess I'm supposed to be in the dark, right? And that's it for the Bersa BP9cc. Thanks for visiting Riders Range.